You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
What's going on, guys? It is Thursday, December the 12th. Don't worry. Oh, sorry, I was just reading something Sasha said. Oh, okay. Let me start it over again. It is Thursday, December the 12th, 2019, 6 p.m. on the dot Central Time. Welcome to another episode of The Drew Yari Show. I'm your host, Drew Yari. We have a lot to go over today, guys. A lot of wrestling news in the past week. I don't know what I should start off with first. I guess I should start off with the releases that happened over the weekend. 3 wrestlers. Actually, technically, I just found this out. Not just 3 people got released. Actually, 7 people got released. 3 wrestlers and 4 announcers. So let's start with the wrestlers first. The Ascension, Connor and Victor, got released. Sin Cara, not Mystico, from, what is it, like 4 years ago, and Luke Harper all got released. What's going on, Perk Dog? So let's start with like the bigger name in that release, or in that bunch of release, Luke Harper. This has kind of been a long time coming, because when I heard he got released, I was kind of happy for the guy, because he's a guy that kind of deserves so much better. I mean, did I think he could be someone that moves the needle and be, John Cena or something? No. I mean, but he's sorry. I have allergies out the wazoo. I'm sorry. It just came out of nowhere. But that usually happens around the holidays. But yeah, Luke Harper, he was a guy that could have been something, because the guy could work. He could really work. He was a good talker, and he had that look. There's not a lot of people who have that look that Luke Harper has. A guy who actually looks like a man, and not a cosplayer, as Jim Cornette would say. Like, he has a look of a guy that could beat the ever living shit out of you, and he can also work. I was always a fan of Luke Harper. It seemed like the company wasn't really too big a fan of his, because I don't know if it's because maybe he said something or did something. Maybe it's something we don't know. It's like Kevin Castle, alluded to on a show not so long ago. Maybe there's something we don't know that's going on in the WWE. Maybe these guys that we think are hard workers, maybe they did or said something to piss the wrong person off. So I don't know. But with Luke Harper, it was always very up and down with him, because he comes on the Wyatt family. And they decided to give him a singles push. They put the Intercontinental title on him, and then he loses that, and they keep going through these motions of giving him and Rowan a tag team, where it looks like they're doing something with it, and then they take him off TV, and then they do something with it again with the Bludgeon Brothers, which was a dumb idea. I mean, dope entries music, by the way. I have to add. But, it was a bad team. You had foam, rubber, or whatever you want to call those hammers. And for the most part, I remember at the beginning when they came out with those hammers, they weren't really doing anything with it. And then they decided to use them, and then you quickly realize they were fake. To which, I don't actually want to see people get hit with hammers. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But yeah, with Luke Harper, and then they take him off TV again, which I heard he got injured. And then they put him in. He showed up in NXT for like a cup of coffee, and then they stopped doing anything with him. And then the poor guy decides to go on Instagram and talk about how he's going to leave the WWE, how he's not going to resign, and A, B, C, and D. And the company decides to add 5 more months to his contract. which poor son of a bitch. Like they literally are just keeping him at home and not doing anything with him. So they bring him back again in a tag team with Rowan again, where it looks interesting for a bit, and then that's when they decide to have the draft, where they send Luke Harper to Raw, and they do absolutely nothing with Rowan. They send Rowan to Raw, and they do absolutely nothing with Harper. So it was made officially. Was it? Somebody help me out here. Was it the beginning of this week, or was it over the weekend? But yeah, he's officially gone. Where could he go? Where should he go? I mean, I guess the more popular answer would be, go to AEW, which would be interesting for him. Because I know before he got released, he had applied for a trademark for the name Brody Lee, which was actually his name over in the independent circuit. So he could probably use that. I mean, he will use that wherever he goes now. It'd be interesting to see him go to AEW. I was listening to Julian's show, a Wrestling Court. Shout out to Julian. And he mentioned how AEW, they need guys that actually look like men. Because when you look at the company, there's not really there's a lot of, I don't want to say little boys, but there's just a lot of guys who are just kind of small. I mean, you got Jungle Boy, you got Marco Stunt, you got, trying to think of more people. I mean, MJF, he doesn't look like a kid, but he's not very imposing. You need guys that look very imposing. You need bigger looking motherfuckers. You need the average wrestling fan, or the casual wrestling fan, the filthy casuals, as Mish would say, to turn on AEW and go, who's that guy? That guy looks scary. He's a big motherfucker. I mean, they have that guy Wardlow, so they're kind of on the right foot, but, what are they going to do with him? Is he just going to be MJF's muscle, or what is he going to do? And also, Jake Hager, is he ever going to wrestle? When is he ever going to wrestle? Is he just going to be the guy that doesn't talk and who's just Chris Jericho's bodyguard? I don't get it. I mean, is that where all big guys are going to do in the company? They're just going to not talk and be somebody's muscle? I don't know. Harper, it'd be interesting to see him go to AEW because AEW could use a guy like him. I know Joe Numbers from Wrestling Soup had, suggested, I'm positive it was him. He suggested, him going to Japan to kind of work on his craft, which wouldn't be a bad idea. I think that'd be a good move for him. I don't wish for anyone to go to Ring of Honor at this moment. Impact would be an interesting move, but at the end of the day, it's all about what makes Luke Harper happy. He's got to go wherever he wants to go. I mean, I'm assuming that he saved his money over the years of being in the company, so he's going to be fine wherever he's at. He's going to get I'm not trying to say he's going to get a John Cena or Roman Reigns type paycheck, but he's going to get a nice paycheck wherever he goes. He's going to get taken care of. He's going to do fine wherever he goes. So I have the utmost confidence in Mr. Luke Harper. He's going to do fine. What's next? Sin Cara, not Mystico from 4 or 5 years ago. This is what is it? Unico, I believe. Yeah, I was just surprised as you are that he was even still in the company. He put out that, what is it, like an Instagram or tweet, where he just talked about how he was going to not renew his contract with the WWE. That he was just going to walk and go wherever. Which I really wish a lot of these guys and girls, if you want to get released, just talk to the management. It's annoying to see a lot of these talent nowadays. Instead of just going to management like a grown up, like a human being, and ask them, "Hey, I'm not happy here. I don't want to resign. I just want to get released. I'm done." Instead, they use social media as a platform to voice their displeasure. I mean, Drew McIntyre, said the same thing. which is a lot of talent need to stop wasting more time complaining on social media and actually learn how to get better in the ring. And again, going back to what I said earlier, for all we know, there's something going on in the back that we don't know about. I mean, when is it ever... We can blame management, we can blame creative, that's always easy. But when is it ever the talent's fault? Why can't it ever be just be the talent's fault? Why can't it ever be the talent is just not that over, the talent is just not that good, but it always has to be creative? So, I don't know. But going back to Sin Cara, I don't know where he's going to go. I don't even know how old the dude's name is. Or I don't even know how old the dude is, I'm sorry. Again, allergies are messing with my head. I mean, could he go to Mexico? Could he go to somewhere in the Indies? Could he go to AEW? Could he go to Japan? I don't know. Do you know? I don't really care, honestly. The Ascension, Connor and Victor. Again, another team. I'm surprised they lasted this long. I forgot, when did they debut in the company? Yeah, I know they debuted on the main roster like the night after a Mania, but I'm forgetting when. And, you know, this was at the time when NXT wasn't really a thing. Actually, it was now that I remember it, 2015. There you go. So they debuted in 2014 against Miz and Sandow. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Sasha. They were big in NXT before NXT became what it is now. They debuted on the main roster, and it was just dead from then on. And ever since then, they didn't try to use them seriously. They didn't even try to repackage them. They just had them go out there in comedy skits. They had them go out there and shit talk, old timers. They had them, in the Ms. Dango, or not Ms. Dango, Breeze Dango sketches. And after that, or, go after R-Truth's 24/7 title. After that, it just didn't work for them. Again, I'm surprised that the WWE didn't try to, repackage them, because they usually try to do it with people. But maybe I don't know, I'm guessing, like I said earlier, there's just something we didn't know. Maybe they pissed off somebody in the back, or Vince just lost faith in them, on night one, so I don't know. Where could they go? I have no clue. Maybe they should split up. I think Kevin Castle suggested that they should just split up. They don't seem like they work for each other. Maybe it was just a case of a bad tag team. Because with the Usos, they had when they came in, they were kind of a generic, tag team, and then they changed them into the Samoan kind of, to the Samoan kind of Hardy Boys-ish type team. And then when that gimmick got kind of watered down, they changed them into the baggy pants wearing, street rappers, whatever you want to call them. In their case, they made it work because they're brothers. With the Ascension, I don't know, I'm just going to chalk it up to maybe it was just a case of a very, just a tag team that didn't belong together. Two guys didn't work out well together. So, other releases: Percy Watson, who was on commentary for NXT before he was replaced by, I believe it was Beth Phoenix. Was it both Beth Phoenix and Nigel McGuinness, or was it just one or the other? Either way, he's released. Someone named Dasha Fuentes and Stacey Irvin Jr. and Nasser Al-Ruwahi. Literally have no clue who those people are. But best of luck in your future endeavors. So, now we're done with the releases. We're talking about suspensions. Bobby Roode, who's currently attacking with Dolph Ziggler, was suspended for violating the wellness policy. I'm trying to think. Was he suspended for 30 days? He was suspended for 30 days, right? Let me just look that up real quick. I'm for certain it was 30 days. Okay, Sasha, he just confirmed that for me. It's 7 days. Thank you, Sasha. So yeah, Bobby Roode is suspended for 30 days. So is Primo from the Cologne tag team. When I heard this, the one thing that kind of popped in my head, the first thing that popped in my head was, holy shit, Primo still has a job. I literally had no clue the guy was even like still with the company. Wasn't he one of those guys that put out like a thing on social media where he wanted to be released? But yeah, both of them got released. What they were using, I don't know. When I was on Kevin Castle's or in the chat room for Castle Chronicles last night, and I made the joke of, you know, they were trying to inject themselves with their own personality, and that went over huge with Mr. Castle. At this point, I mean, I don't really think they were even doing anything with Bobby Roode. I mean, yeah, they had him in a tag team with Dolph, and they were surrounding him around Baron. But were they really doing anything with him? At this point, I mean, probably should just let him go. I mean, he wasn't really doing anything with the company since being on the main roster. I mean, in NXT, his whole thing was his entrance. And he was an NXT champion. Then he came to the main roster and he was United States champion and tag team champion, and that's really about it. What has he really done? What has he really done that's kind of made people go, oh shit? When he comes back, they're more than likely going to job him out. And from what I hear, there's going to be more releases on the way. It's either going to be more before Christmas or after Christmas. If I had to guess, I'd say after Christmas. And my money's on Bobby Roode being the next one to be put on the axe. I mean, there's like more. There's more and more people in this company that probably need to, you know, get on that bus flip. I mean, we already did a bus flip not too long ago. We can probably do a bus flip on the Yari Awards on the 26th. What do you say? We should do another bus flip at the on the last episode of the year. Why the fuck not? And then Primo. Again, I literally had no idea he was even still with the company. When's the last time Primo was even on TV for anything? Was it for like the 24/7 thing or Battle Royal? Like, when was he ever on TV? I haven't seen him on TV in like. I like to think it was a year. I have a feeling Sasha Baron Corbin might know this. Sasha, do you know when's the last time Primo was on TV for anything? Last I checked, it was at Survivor Series 2 years ago. Oh, so was it like in a? If I had to assume, like a tag team thing, like in like, you know, Raw and SmackDown tag teams, blah blah blah. Oh, I'm currently waiting on Sasha's answer. The multi-tag team elimination match. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, that's another guy that can easily go bye-byes, like bye-bye. But yeah, and so yeah, mark that down on your calendars. December the 26th. You won't just be getting the second annual Yari Awards. You'll also be getting another bus flip. So there you go. My gift to you guys. My late Christmas gift to you guys. So now we're done with releases. The ratings came in today, and we are at a tie for the first time in this Wednesday night, where we are at a tie in the ratings. Both AEW and NXT both got a 770. Jesus Christ, 778,000 in the viewership. That was interesting. And I know someone on Twitter kind of alluded to that's not, you know, counting, you know, Hulu and whatnot. with the ratings, do they count Hulu? Like, if you want to rewatch, or no, I know NXT's not on Hulu, but I know they count DVR. Like, if you save the show on DVR, you can rewatch it on DVR. So I know they saved that. I didn't watch NXT last night, so I can't really judge it. I haven't watched NXT. Not NXT, AEW. Fuck. I did watch NXT. AEW I have not watched. I haven't watched it in a very long time. I lost interest. I can't watch it. I can't bring myself to watch it. I just can't. It's not a very good show. And people are allowed to like it. I just don't understand why. I don't get the appeal. You know what I mean? NXT is clearly the better show, in my opinion. NXT last night, overall, it was a good show. It wasn't great. It wasn't good as the last two shows, but overall it was a pretty good show. Great main event. You had Keith Lee versus Finn Balor. If you hear a barking, that's a dog barking from the house across the street. You had Keith Lee versus Finn Balor versus Tommaso Ciampa. Great match. Finn Balor wins, which I was very surprised about because I was almost very certain that it was either going to be Ciampa or Lee. Because I wouldn't have been that shocked if Lee lost, because you want to take the time to keep building him as a star. You don't just want to, what do you call it? You don't just want to automatically hot shot him into the main event, into the title picture, because you don't want to push it. You don't want to push him down people's throats. You want to organically build him up. Because the talk is that he might end up showing up at the Rumble and winning and facing Brock Lesnar at Mania. But you want to keep building him as a star. Ciampa, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, I imagine he's still going to be lingering around the title picture. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, next week you have Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. We got a heel versus a heel. And that's going to be a money match. That has the potential to be a match of the year candidate. It should be a great match. I mean, next week on NXT should be must see. You can't miss this show. Because you got Finn Balor versus Adam Cole, which pretty sure Adam Cole is going to win, so they can kind of keep his hot streak going on. He's more likely to keep that title until the takeover Tampa before Mania. He's more likely to keep that. Finn winning, I have a feeling Johnny Gargano is going to get involved. He's going to come out during the match and cost Finn the win, and that sets up their feud for the next takeover. So you got that going on, and then next week you got Shayna versus Rhea. Again, another good match. You got two girls that will just beat the air living shit out of each other, and that's always fun to watch. Am I right? So yeah, NXT next week is must see. You guys will not want to miss it. It's the last NXT show of the year. So there you go. What else happened on NXT? You had a new Cruiserweight champion in Angel Garza topping Leo Rush, which I was very surprised about that. I was pretty sure they're going to keep the title on him for a while. Rush, he kind of came back and redeemed himself after that whole mishap, talking about, how he shouldn't have to carry people's bags and A, B, C, and D. But he kind of fixed that image. He kind of fixed his image, and he came back as a better person and a better wrestler. And they put the Cruiserweight Championship on him. Again, I was positive he was going to have a longer reign. And then they dropped it Garza, which I don't have anything against Garza. I just don't think he's ready. He's a good wrestler. He has good talent. I just didn't think they should have given it to him right then and there. And right after the match, or during commercial break, they decided to show this, when we came back from commercial break. He brought his girlfriend in the ring and proposed her. To which my whole thought process was, wait, isn't he supposed to be a heel? In this feud with him and Leo Rush, wasn't he supposed to be a heel? Because didn't he hit on Leo Rush's wife? Like, doesn't that kind of make him a heel? I don't really get what's going. I mean, yeah, I'm happy for him that he's engaged, but it's just like, wait, he's supposed to be the heel in this. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, congratulations, Garza. Had to fast forward through the Forgotten Sons versus whoever the fuck they were facing. I don't care. I don't care about that team. Never will. Then you had Breeze Dango defeating... Who the fuck were they wrestling? Who did Breeze Dango wrestle? They had an entrance where they came out as doctors. Or sexy doctors, whatever you want to call them. You had Trevor Lee versus Raul Mendoza, who won at Retribution last week when Trevor Lee took him out, when Raul Mendoza was about to face Kushida. If I'm saying that right. Raul Mendoza beat him with help from Kushida, distracting Trevor Lee. What else did you have? You had a promo from Shayna Baszler talking about how she had to work for what she wanted, blah, 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 and A, B, C, and D. You had another vignette about Rhea Ripley having to work hard for what she wanted, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D. So they're going to have that match next week. They're good promos, by the way. There wasn't really much to talk about. They were just kind of like those promos that anyone would make for anyone to hype up a match. And who else did you have? Matt Riddle wasn't on the show, which I thought was kind of odd. No Io Shirai. She was not on the show. Oh, yeah, you had Maya Yim versus Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai come out with different music. They decided to take her entrance video off where it shows her, beating the shit out of Tegan Knox. Did the match end in disqualification? I watched it last night. I'm forgetting. Did it end in disqualification or? I forgot what happened. But I just know it ends with Maya Yim and Dakota Kai fighting in the audience, and she suplexes her onto two tables. Supposedly she had a laceration in her back. Maya Yim's a fucking badass. I don't really remember watching her in Impact. When she was in Impact, but I heard she was pretty good in Impact. She's a fucking badass. Like, she had that ladder match with Io Shirai, where she takes a ladder to the face and busts her nose. And then she falls off a ladder onto another ladder. Which, again, that looked like it hurt. I'm not even understatement of the year, that looked like it hurt. And then she decides to beat the living shit out of Dakota Kai. And suplexes her through two tables. And apparently cuts her back, like, very badly. Like, lacerates it. So, hats off to Maya Yim. That was a good spot. Oh, man, that's enough NXT. What else can we go over? Oh, yeah, Hall of Fame inductions. That was the big news this week. They announced Batista in the NWO. Sorry, I wasn't trying to make a deep voice. I'm trying to get comfortable in my bed. Batista and the NWO are in the Hall of Fame. The NWO is inducting 4 members: Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman, which a lot of people thought was kind of interesting. They had kind of had a problem with it because Sean Waltman got inducted with DX last year as X-Pac, which that made sense because he was more of a prominent member of D-Generation X. Like, he was more memorable in his run with DX because that's how he got over. That's what kind of put him over. I mean, he main evented a Raw with The Rock for the WWF title, which, that's a pretty big deal. And now he's when he went to the NWO, he changed his name from Sean Waltman to not Sean Waltman, but 1-2-3 Kid to Six-Pack or Six-Pac, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, did he really have any memorable moments in the NWO? Yeah, he had a ladder match with Eddie Guerrero at Sold Out. It's a bird, it's a plane. Never mind, it's Eddie. What's going on, Eddie? Welcome to the chat room, Eddie. And he was a part of that Horseman, kind of parody skit where he came out as Ric Flair and he was like, pouring, I guess, squirting eardrops into his, or not eardrops, eye droplets into his eye to make it look like he's crying. But yeah, him in the Hall of Fame with the NWO. I mean, he's kind of weird. I don't really think he should go in. I think it should just be the original 3. I mean, if you're going to put 4, you might as well put Eric Bischoff because he was, the creator of the NWO. But I don't know if he's on the outs with WWE ever since being released. But I mean, it is what it is. Toxic masculinity just showed up on my beer. Well, I got more and more people join the chat room. Sean, did you have something to do with this? Don't lie to me. I can't say mad at you, you old so-and-so. Come here. I appreciate you, Sean. Yeah, going back to the NWO. I mean, yeah, Sean Waltman going with the NWO, I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. I don't really think he should go in with the NWO. I mean, maybe they're just, I guess, giving him something to do. But, I mean, it is what it is. Do I hate it? Not really. I mean, do I love it? Not really. I mean, it's kind of just there. It is what it is. Going to the Batista. Batista, I'm happy for you. Deserves it. I was always a Batista fan. Going back to... Let me kind of retract that. I wasn't a fan of his when he first came in. When he was Deacon Batista having to hold that, box full of money for Devon, I just thought that was kind of fucking goofy. Like everybody else would. But over the years, whenever he came in as Batista, whenever he was in Evolution, kind of became his own man, that's when I became a fan of his. He worked his ass off. Was he always the best wrestler? No. I mean, he had good matches. Granted, a lot of his better matches were against guys like Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. But he was a star. He made it work. He was able to make it work outside of the business, which, again, is not easy for anyone. He was on a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, who played Lex Luthor. Batista talked about, when he left WWE, he was starving. He was struggling. It wasn't easy for him. And then, eventually, over time, he was able to land these roles. He was able to be in Marvel. He was able to be in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was, he's a part of the largest grossing movie of all time, Avengers Endgame. He was able to kind of just fall into those perfect roles for him. He was in Spectre, which I'm not even a James Bond fan, but that's huge. That's a huge role. He was in the sequel to Blade Runner, which I didn't see, but it was pretty good. He's out there making some good movies. I mean, supposedly he might even jump ship to DC. That's the talk. He's supposedly going to jump ship to DC. So my favorite Batista match of all time, if I had to pick one. And nobody asked me this, I just thought of it in my head. Ooh. He had a great match with Shawn Michaels at Armageddon 2003. You guys gotta check that out. His match against Eddie Guerrero at No Mercy 2005, which was actually Eddie's last pay-per-view. And I know a lot of people kind of poo-poo on it, but his Hell in the Cell against Triple H I thought was pretty good. And he already said who he wants to abduct him, and that's Finlay, which a lot of people thought was kind of odd, but makes sense to me because if you read his book, like I did, and his documentary that WWE put out a couple years later, he credited Finlay for being the guy that just really brought out the best, that made him the star he is. Because I know Roman Reigns' dad trained him. Like, he's the one that trained him. But Fit Finlay, when he got to WWE, Fit Finlay was the one that actually, like, really trained him. That really got him ready for the company and the business. And it's not just Batista. Everybody else has said the same thing, like the Divas. Trish Stratus, you know, before she became Trish Stratus, you know, the Hall of Famer, the 7-8-time women's champion, she was just, you know, a piece of ass. And that's not a knock on her. That's pretty much what she was. She was just a piece of ass. And then over time, she became this polished, you know, women's performer, you know, where she main evented a Raw. She became a 7-8-time women's champion. And she credited Fit Finlay for that. She had Fit Finlay train her, and he didn't take it easy on her. You know, all the women, you know, said that Fit Finlay did not take it easy on them. Like, he really brought out the best in them. Same thing with someone like, you know, I had another name, Lita. So, I don't have a problem with Fit Finlay inducting Batista. I'm fine with that. I mean, the obvious choice people thought was like Triple H. Or, you know what another choice would have been? Was Hurricane Helms. Because I remember in his book, Batista credited Fit Finlay and Hurricane Helms as the guys who really just brought the best of him. Who really made him look like $1 million. Who always treated him with respect. But, yeah, Fit Finlay, I'm fine with it. It's a good choice. Would it close out that Hall of Fame? I don't know. Because you got the NWO. I'm pretty sure Hulk Hogan would not want to play second fiddle to Batista. Or maybe he would, I don't know. Hogan likes to he likes to make nicey nice with the today's stars. But who are some other good picks? Who are some other good ideas you think could be in the Hall of Fame this year? I mean, the company could very well just pull a miracle out of their ass and say, "Hey, we're gonna put the Undertaker as the headliner. We're gonna put The Rock." I mean, it is Florida, so they're gonna announce more choices. I thought it was kind of odd that they announced it this early, because I remember when they just announced it as a surprise. It was usually like around or after the Royal Rumble when they would announce names. But hey, they want to sell tickets, so I guess that makes sense. They want to sell out quick. What are some other news? I guess we can talk about... I have some more news on deck. Just one second. The whole ACH drama. I mean, it's kind of like a dead issue at this moment. But last week, he put out a tweet, you know, saying, and I have the tweet right here, "I hate pro wrestling. I hate you shitty fans that think you know it all. More importantly, I hate the snakes in this industry. None of y'all would never say anything about me to me. All y'all can go screw yourselves. I'm canceling my shows and I'm quitting pro wrestling." To which Shad Gaspard from Crime Time replies back to him saying, "On that note, shut the fuck up. If all you can do is badmouth and talk down to people in the business after people have gone out of their way to understand and try to help you, or to understand and help you, then fuck off. Talent gets you so far in life, but it's obvious your character is one of an attention-seeking ass who wants sympathy while burning others. Grow up and understand the world doesn't revolve around you. This business, as well as life, doesn't cater to one individual, so either suck it up and do something about it, or shut the fuck up, because this bipolar crying shit is getting old." Shad Gaspard with a mic drop? I mean, is it really that obvious? I mean, Shad Gaspard just kind of put him in his place. To which ACH, who supposedly, I guess, deleted his social media, put up a picture of Shad Gaspard with the controversial shirt logo over his mouth that he bitched and wanted to complain about. ACH just needs help. He's a guy that needs to get the fuck away from social media. I had Ruben Prime on the show where we talked about the situation. And this is when the situation was kind of like a week old. is before we really knew what the hell was wrong with this dude. ACH just really needs help. This has gone from... all this is because of a t-shirt. Like, all this is because of a t-shirt that was, in his words, racist. I mean, we can all agree that the design of the t-shirt alone should have gotten someone fired. That was just a shitty t-shirt design. But this is just really got out of hand. Like, ACH is just someone who needs help. Why are none of his friends jumping in and just telling him to shut the fuck up? Go get help. Stay off of social media. Like, stop. Like, stop trying to get attention. I mean, I feel bad for MLW for signing this guy and then promoting him on other shows, and now it's... I mean, I don't know if they're losing money, because I don't know if anyone paid to come see ACH, but he signs with this company and then he quits. For what reason? I don't know. But he clearly needs help. He needs to get away from social media. He needs to get away from everything and everybody. He needs help. He needs a therapist. He needs something. Because this is not going to end well. Someone like Mauro Ranallo was different because Mauro Ranallo, and I watched the documentary I talked about last week. Mauro seems genuinely like a nice guy. He seems like someone, like he's going through stuff. He's dealing with his demons. But he generally seems like a nice guy. He seems like someone that is not that difficult to deal with. With a guy like ACH, and I'm sorry if this offends anyone. I'm sorry if this offends anyone, if I sound ignorant in any way. But he just comes off as a jackass. He comes off as somebody that tries to use his problems as a reason why he's a piece of shit, and then continues to act like a piece of shit. With Mauro, you never see him try to use his problems as a way to justify his behavior. Because for Mauro, he knows what his problem is. He knows what his problems are. He knows how to deal with them. With a guy like ACH, he comes off as somebody who tries to use that to justify his shitty behavior. And, I'm not trying to speak like I know everything about everything. All I'm saying is that I've known people like this. I've known people who try to use their disability, their whatever, their situation, as a way to say, hey, I'm only like this because A, B, C, and D. You shouldn't talk to me that way. It's getting really bad. I don't know ACH, so I don't know ACH at all. I never met him, so I'm not going to speak like I know him. All I'm saying is that he needs help. He needs to get the fuck off of social media. He needs a friend. He needs a family member to take away his phone, take away his computer, take away everything, and say, shut the fuck up. Get better. Get away from social media. Focus on yourself. It's simple as that. By the way, go on the Mean Mark Report. Their show's about to start. I'll show a little love. Now that we're done talking about ACH. I guess in comic book news, Shazam 2 will open 4 months after The Rock's Black Adam movie as a release on April the 1st of 2022. So look out for that. And then you have The Flash. The Flash finally gets a release date. It will come to theaters on July the 1st, 2022. So another day on the 1st. So you have that. It's directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed the 2 It movies. Which I find interesting how you see a lot of horror directors jumping in the superhero game. You got James Wan, famous for, the Insidiouses and Conjuring and Dead Silence and Saw. Directed Aquaman. And was able to add his own kind of horror spin to that. I forget the director's name, but he directed Lights Out. in the second Annabelle movie. Was it the second Annabelle movie? I think it was the second Annabelle. Second or third, one of those two. And he directed Shazam. So now you got the guy who directed it directing Flash. To which, in their case, they look at it as not as a superhero film, but they look at it as a film. They look at it as, characters that they can work with. Which I find interesting. I find it interesting how directors can look at it like that. Instead of someone like Martin Scorsese who has to say, oh, it's not cinema, it's just the same thing over and over again. I like when directors and actors, they look at a superhero film as not just a superhero film, but as a story. As a story about people going through more relatable problems. Artist formerly known as NXT Warrior. What's going on, man? Welcome to the chat room. So, I like the first, I like Shazam. It was kind of more of a quiet success. It was a pretty good movie. I liked it. Flash, I'm interested in see how that works. So, that's all the movie news. Before I get to TLC predictions, we'll talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths. If anyone hasn't watched it, spoiler alert, if anyone hasn't watched it, I would advise you maybe mute this or leave, because I'm about to drop some spoilers on you. Or not too many. I was surprised. I was listening to Julian talk about it. He said he hated it. Like, he hated everything about the crossover. I've been enjoying it, actually. I like what I see. I haven't read the Crisis comic. I probably need to. But basically, the gist of the crossover is the Anti-Monitor is, has been set free, and now he's going to destroy all the multiverses. Like, literally everything. Every universe, every Earth in general. And it's up to every hero from, certain Earths to try to stop it. So everyone is literally just taken from their Earth and saying, hey, we need you. You're needed to help stop this crisis. You all play a role. Even villains, even Lex Luthor. And there's a lot of appearances. You have Kevin Conroy, formerly as Batman in the 90s cartoon, who comes back as Kingdom Come Batman, Bruce Wayne. And he's wearing some kind of crutch, like these crutches on his arms, legs, and everything, because he just got his ass beat by Superman and then killed him in his Earth. Spoilers. So when they find Bruce Wayne in his Earth, he's a psychopath. He's a killer. He's a piece of shit. They brought back Tom Welling from Smallville, and I like the scene. It was a nice scene because it's been 8 years since Smallville ended. So Clark Kent is no longer Superman. He's married and he has two girls. Works on a farm. He's basically his dad. He's just working on a farm. When Lex Luthor shows up, he even says, I'm just a guy working on his farm. And you'll always be my greatest enemy. That's what Lex Luthor says. And he tries to kill him with kryptonite, and then Clark literally just looks at it and grabs it and chucks it away. And saying, that would have worked on me if I had my powers. I gave him up. And then he reveals, it's for his kids. And then Lex says, whatever, you're doomed anyway. And he just opens up a portal and walks away, and Clark's just like, huh, that's new. So that was a nice little, a send-off for Smallville fans. So we have, Black Lightning joined the fight. If you watch Black Lightning, Crisis, played a big role in it. They brought in Kingdom Come Superman, which I'm not even a Superman fan, but that suit is fucking dope as hell. That's a nice fucking suit. And they kill him off. So basically, here's what happens in the last episode. The Flash and Cisco and Caitlin find wherever the Anti-Monitor is released, and they see a speedster running on this treadmill, who's trying to kind of slowly keep the antimatter from destroying every universe. So Barry doesn't know the situation. Barry gets the speedster off, who ends up being Jay Garrick, who's the Flash from another universe, who's actually the Flash from the '90s TV show. Ooh, they had met before, by the way. And Jay's telling Barry, we're not. Jay's telling Barry, you gotta put me back on there, or every universe is gonna be destroyed even faster. So that's where Black Lightning comes in. He comes in to kind of buy him some time. So then Jay ends up kind of doing something to kind of subdue Barry. He has a device that takes his speed away, so he can run a little bit faster, and then that's when Jay, dissolves into little itty-bitty pieces. So everyone ends up going back to the ship, and then Lila, who's Diggle's wife, who's also now the Harbinger, she comes back, and she's now possessed by the Antimatter. And she just takes everyone out one by one. No one is strong enough to touch her. And then that's when the wave of antimatter comes to destroy everyone on the ship. Nash, I haven't been keeping up with the Flash, so I'm not sure why he's Nash. Probably gonna go back and watch all that. He reveals that his what's going on, Maurice? He reveals that that his only role in the crisis is to witness a great tragedy. And then he realizes everything that's going on. He uses whatever power he has to take all 7, I forgot what they call them, relics? All the 7, important people a part of this crisis, and to transfer them somewhere else, so that way they won't get obliterated by the antimatter. So, you got the Flash, Batwoman, Supergirl, White Canary, Sarah, Superman, Ryan Shaw, who's now who's going to be the new Adam, apparently, and then Martian Manhunter. They all represent something, and they're all transferred to another area that's away from the antimatter. So while everyone's meeting up in that area, Superman, it looks like he's dying, or dissolving in some way. He dissolves, and ends up being Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor had the Book of Destiny, and that's how they ended up meeting Kingdom Come Superman. And he ripped out a page in the Book of Destiny where he replaced Superman's name with him. So now Lex Luthor is now stuck with all these heroes. And we have to wait till January 14th to see this shit. So, CW's just fucking with us. Hey, I'm very surprised Julian doesn't like this. He says he doesn't just say he hated the episode, he hates everything about it. So many plot holes, which I can't disagree with him there. Hey, I like it. I like it so far. The last episode of Arrow, the last ever episode of Arrow, will be January 14th. That'll actually be a double header. Arrow, and then Legends of Tomorrow. So we got that to look forward to. That's pretty much all the news I have. Let's get to predictions for TLC this Sunday. My friend just messaged me. Yeah, TLC is going to be this Sunday. I'm not sure if these are all the matches, officially. I know they've been announcing matches at the last second, but it's this Sunday, December the 15th, at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So far, there's 7 matches. There's more than likely, I'm pretty sure there's going to be more matches added for tomorrow, but I'll just read off. I'll just do predictions at the moment. So you got the Viking Raiders doing an open challenge for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I'm assuming whoever ends up being is going to be the Viking Raiders coming out on top. You got Rusev versus Bobby Lashley in a tables match. Rusev needs a win. This whole feud needs to end. This storyline is terrible. It's just god awful. I mean, hats off to Rusev for making it work and making it interesting. In his head, he might as well just saying fuck it. I might as well have fun with it. And it looks like he's having fun with it, because when he's being carted away by officers, he's like saying, every day is Rusev Day, which I thought was kind of funny. So, this feud needs to end. This will probably be the match of the night. You got the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane defending the women's tag team championships against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a TLC match. I have a feeling this is going to be the main event. I don't know why. But I would say keep it on the Kabuki Warriors. They've established themselves a little more. I don't want to see Becky with two belts. I don't want to see anyone with two belts ever again. That whole Becky two belts thing was dumb. I always find it odd when wrestlers have two belts. It just kind of throws me off. It looks weird. It looks uncomfortable for them. But this just screamed of, we need something for Becky and Charlotte to do. I mean, it'll be a good match. There's no doubt about that. But this match is just thrown together. I mean, yeah, there's a storyline with Charlotte because, going back to Survivor Series when Asuka spit mist in her face and then did the next night, and then, both of them beat Charlotte in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Did the same thing to Becky. But this will more than likely be the match of the night. You got Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy in a singles match. This should be a pretty good match. You got two guys who I don't think they've ever wrestled each other yet. And I'm happy. It looks like they're finally letting Aleister Black out of his room. It looks like the WWE is lifting his punishment for whatever he did and letting him go outside and play with other people. Aleister Black's gonna win. Should be a good match. You got two guys who are pretty good kickers. Good kickers and stompers. Yeah, Aleister Black, I gotta win this match. Yeah, Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, in a singles match. No Universal Championship. Bray Wyatt will not be The Fiend. He'll just be Bray Wyatt, which I find interesting because I forget who. I think it was Don Tony that said, there's going to be times where Bray Wyatt's going to have to wrestle as Bray Wyatt and not The Fiend. Welcome to the show, Venom. Which I'm cool with. I find it interesting. I like that. I like the back and forth on SmackDown with Bray Wyatt and The Miz. I like that they're not rushing whatever it is that they're going to do with Daniel Bryan. Because you want to keep him on TV. You want to keep him off TV, especially if he's going to be bald or not have any facial hair. You want to kind of give that time to simmer. You want him to. If I had to guess, I would say he's going to come out on the last SmackDown of the year and reveal his new look. You want that to kind of take time. You want the fans to appreciate it more when it comes back, and not just rush it. You want it to mean something overall. Or he might just come back in the Rumble. That'd be pretty cool. So, you need something for The Miz to do. And yeah, they're not just rushing it. They're actually having this match have a storyline. So, but not for the Universal Championship? I don't get that. I mean, are they going to announce tomorrow that it's going to be for the Universal Championship? I'm pretty sure tomorrow we're going to find out some more information about the show. There's going to be new matches, new stipulations, what have you. So, these are just my choices for now. Yeah, I got Bray Wyatt winning. The New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston versus defending their SmackDown Tag Championships against the Revival. Should be a good match, but we've seen this. We've seen this 1,000 times. We've seen these guys wrestle before. It should be a good match, but it's not anything we haven't seen. New Day is going to win. That's really it. New Day is going to win. And then a match that I have a feeling might be the main event. Because I said the women's TLC match was going to be the main event. That's a match I would like to be the main event. This looks like it might be the main event. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a TLC match. Roman's going to win. There's really no doubt about that. Roman's going to win. I'm not really looking forward to this match at all. I think this feud is just stupid. I don't really care for it. Apparently, CM Punk, when he was on backstage, talked about how he liked that Baron was pouring dog food on Roman, which, again, that was pretty surprising. But I don't care for this feud. I kind of want it to end. And this is also kind of like a Kickstarter into putting Roman back in his big push, which, again, not that surprising. But Roman's going to win this match. These two are going to beat the shit out of each other, but I don't really think it's going to matter. I don't really think the crowds are really going to care about it. And now that you got Bobby Roode out of the equation, it kind of changes things. Yeah, overall, this pay-per-view is not really looking that good. I said it with when I had Ruben Prime on a couple weeks ago, and he's going to be up next week, so look forward for that. They really need to do away with these gimmick pay-per-views. Like, make a TLC match mean something again. Make a Hell in a Cell match mean something again. Make Elimination Chamber mean something. Don't just have it be an entire pay-per-view. And don't just have every match be a singles match. Don't just have 3 matches that have a table, ladder, and or chair in the match. Have every match be some type of stipulation. Or just don't have the pay-per-view at all. That's really about it. So that's TLC. Next, like I said, next week I will be having Ruben Prime on the show from Ruben Prime TV. So look for that. The week after that will be the Yari Awards, second only Yari Awards. I'll also be doing a bus slip, and who the fuck is calling me this late at night? I don't know who the fuck that is. Shout out to Sean Kenter in the chat room for bringing some new people in the chat room. Appreciate it, buddy. Let me just welcome everybody in. Oh shit! I think. Oh man! And shout out to Kleenexes for cleaning my fucking nose. Oh, let me just give a big shout out to everybody who just joined the chat room. The chat room. But yeah, that's really about it. I feel like complete shit right now, so I need to get off in a bit. So, yeah, we are. Yeah, thanks, Sean. My nose is just leaking like a faucet. No matter how many times I freaking clean it, it just continues to leak. So, I need to take a shower for this. But yeah, shout outs to everybody who did join. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Sean for bringing some new eyes and ears to the show. Sean's the man, by the way. He's a good dude. Shout out to Wrestling Soup, who they're about to have a show in another hour and a half. I will definitely be listening to that, like I do every Thursday. Join their Patreon. It's only $5. DTKC. Shout out to DT for getting engaged. I know that was like last week or the week before, but still, congratulations to the man. He's a good dude. I have a lot of respect for DT. Shout out to Kevin Castle. Put me over like a motherfucker on Castle Chronicles essay, so I gotta appreciate that. Go to their Patreon. Only $5. You can also hear Kevin's other shows like Castle Chronicles and Dark Chronicles where he does with our good friend Trez. So shout out to Trez. Shout out to Wrestling Court with Julian and Rob. They just did an episode. Shout out to Architect Podcast with Derek and Irving. The Peter Position with my good friend Peter. The Ruben Prime Podcast. The the Ruben Prime TV podcast. He'll be on next week. And shout out to Brian, B-Show Brian, with his horror podcast you can find on Spreaker. Been trying to get him on. And I'm forgetting another name. Shout out to the Trademark Show. The Trademark Show with Tyler. And shout out to Shaheen. Shaheen from Nuclear Heat Podcast. Or not Nuclear. It's not a podcast. It's Nuclear Heat Graphics. He, hey, take care, Sean. Later. Shout out to Shaheen from Nuclear Heat Graphics. He made me a logo for the show. It cost a pretty penny, but it was worth it. Look out for his podcast, The Wrestling Overdose. He shouted me out. I listened to his most recent episode. He shouted me out. So shout out to Shaheen, good dude. If you ever need artwork done for anything, a podcast or a birthday or whatever, get a hold of Shaheen at Nuclear Heat Graphics. Also, somebody who's helped out the show, Yuck Nasty from the Get in the Corner podcast. The theme that you hear at the beginning of the show is all him. He did that. So, again, if you're an artist and you need music, if you need something for your podcast or YouTube show, whatever, get a hold of Yuck. He's the man. And if I'm forgetting any other names, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sick. I'm sick as a dog. So hopefully I'm better by next week. But again, I'll see you guys next week. And then the week after that is the RA Awards. And we will also be doing a bus flip. And like I said, next week we'll have Ruben Prime. So we have 2 more episodes left in the year, guys. But anyways, take care, guys. And have a good rest of your week. Peace.